longer to see if anybody else joins us. Welcome to my first Instagram Live for Lola Gets. I am honored and excited. This is pretty amazing. So I do all kinds of yoga. My specialty is chair yoga. I do a lot of adaptive and accessible yoga, but today I thought that we would do, thank you, I would do a little bit more challenge, a little bit more vigorous, because there's a big misconception that chair yoga is easy yoga, or that you won't actually feel anything by doing yoga in the chair, and we're going to explore some different sensations here. Yay, chair yoga, it's your first time. Awesome. So if you've got a chair, I like to put a blanket in mine just in case, it does help with the turning, but it's not necessary. I've got blocks handy too, just in case. So it's completely up to you. You may not need them. So we're going to start in the chair just a little bit more towards the front of the chair instead of leaning all the way back into it. And we'll start with the feet a little bit further apart than usual. So grounding the sits bones into the chair. And we're going to make some adjustment with the flesh here so that we can really feel the grounding of the sits bones into the chair beneath us. Press the feet into the floor. Imagine pressing into the four corners of your feet and really grounding in. Lengthen the spine, roll the shoulder blades back and away from the ears. And I'm just going to start with the palms resting on my lap first. So just start to bring yourself into the practice. Take a few deep breaths here as we start to ground ourselves in and center in. Maybe just setting aside all the things that have been going on already today. Setting aside all the things that might be waiting for us after we do this practice together. And just being aware of your breath. Maybe you're unhinging the jaw. Keep the spine long. Make sure we're not poking out with the chin. We've probably been doing this a lot with our electronics lately, so draw the chin back. Relax the shoulders down towards the hips, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths before we get our blood flowing, our movement going with this practice today. So just bringing yourself into this present moment. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. Let out a big sigh on the exhale. And do that 2 more times. All right, let's just come back into our regular breath. So if you have just joined us, we're starting with the feet wide apart. Hands are at the knees. We'll start with a wide-legged cat-cow. So on the inhale, we're going to lift the chin and lift the tailbone. Arch the spine, and on the exhale, tuck the tailbone, bring the chin into the chest. Inhale, arching, bring the shoulders together towards the spine. Exhale, rounding. So just letting the pelvic cup rock back and forth. Rock forward, and then rock backwards on the exhale. So do this a few more times. Just keep breathing. Nice movement in the spine, just warming up the back, getting some blood flow. And one more breath here. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. So we're going to bring the knees in together, kind of lift up onto your toes a little bit here. Take a big inhale. And exhale, pull the knees together. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So just keep doing this, matching breath with movement. So with chair yoga, a lot of times people think that we're not getting a lot of work out in the legs, and that it's mostly upper body. But we can get a lot of sensation going in the legs, strengthening, stretching. We're going to feel it. There's going to be a lot of leg work done today in this practice. Okay, one more time. Exhale. And then inhale, open. So we're going to bring the right forearm to the right thigh. reach up and over with the left arm, reach and stretch. And then we're just gonna make some big circles with the left arm, just really opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders. So this is one option. If this feels like, oh, I think I might want to do a little bit more, you can even bring your hand all the way down to the block. Take your circles in the other direction now. You can bring it down to the block or maybe even the floor. So there's always lots of options. And then bring yourself back up to seated. We'll take it to the other side. Left forearm, left thigh. Big circles with the arms. Doesn't matter which direction you start in first. And as always, you have the options of the hand to the block or all the way down to the floor. Go in the opposite direction. We're just starting to warm up. All right. Take the feet a little bit wider, and we're just going to exhale, take a bend to the side, inhale to center, and then go this way. So we're going to start out this way. If it feels good, we're actually just starting to stretch out the arms, warm up the hips. If you're ready for a little bit more sensation, take your bottom off the chair. Lift the bottom up a little bit and let the legs support you. 2 more times each side to be nice and even. And then come back into center. Just take a couple breaths here. And we're going to move into some hip circles. So just pick one leg and start to draw circles in the air with the knees. Take it in the opposite direction. And let that foot come down to rest on the floor. We'll take it to the other side. Big circles on the other side. You might notice one side is easier than the other. And you might think, wow, this is a lot harder than I expected it to be. Just keep breathing. One last time around. And then bring the foot back down to the floor. We're still keeping the feet wide. So we've got a couple options here. We're going to start to activate the core. So we can take our right hand, bring it into like a cactus arm here, half cactus arm. And your first option is to bring the elbow to the knee or as close to the knee. Inhale up, exhale bend. If you want to activate the core a little bit more and it's in your practice today, bring the elbow and the knee towards each other. Maybe they touch, maybe they never touch. You can even extend the leg out to the side for a little bit more hip action. And just take it as fast or slow as feels good in your body. Two more times. All right, come back into center. We'll take it to the other side. And again, you have the choice of bringing the elbow to the knee, finding a small twist, or extending the leg and bringing elbow and knee closer to each other. And again, maybe they touch, maybe they never touch, ever. And that has no value in your self-worth whatsoever. We just do what we can with our body that shows up for us today. 3 more. And last one. Very nice. Bring the foot back down. We're staying in a wide leg, maybe even then walk out a little bit further. And this is where I'm going to grab my block, put it down in front of me, take a big inhale, arms up overhead, and on the exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, hands can come to the block, and you have 3 different settings on the block. It can be on the highest, the medium, the lowest, or maybe the hands come all the way to the floor. Let the crown of the head draw down towards the floor. Maybe just slightly sway from side to side. Just let the spine decompress here. We're barely on the chair, leaning forward. And just take a few deep breaths. And let's move into some twist. We'll plant the right hand on the floor underneath the nose. Inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a twist, turning the chest out to the side. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, release the hand back down to the floor. Plant the left hand underneath the nose on the block or on the floor, and inhale the right arm up. 2 more full rounds of breath here. And then exhale back into your forward fold. Bring the hands up to the thighs and very slowly roll yourself back up to seated. We're going to bring the feet in, not in sideways, but just closer to our bodies. Bring the arms into cactus arms. Lift up to the toes and find your goddess. Nice long spine. Sits bones are grounding into the chair. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, lower the heels to the floor. Bring the elbows, forearms, and palms together. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw everything close. On the inhale, lifting to the toes, arms opening. Exhale together. Again, if you want a little bit more sensation, bring yourself off the chair and do it that way. The chair is just another prop that we use, no different than our blocks and our straps. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Very nice. We're going to move into a warrior one. So we'll start with the right leg first. And we'll bring the right leg out to the side of the chair. And the left knee is going to be bent. So however comfortable you are with the legs. I like to just keep my heel up a little bit higher. My chest, my shoulders, my hips are all going this way. Bring the arms up. Find your warrior one. Again, you can always lift off the chair. Or put a little bit more pressure into the feet, letting the bottom rise up from the chair. Take another inhale. And on the exhale, right arm goes back, left arm forward, finding a twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Return back to your warrior one. And then we'll take it to the other side. And just turning around, left leg coming out over this side. Right knee drawing towards the floor. Maybe the heels lifted, whatever feels best in your body. Hips and shoulders going this way, arms up overhead. If you don't feel steady in the chair, hold on to the back of the chair. Let's take 3 big breaths here in warrior one. And on the next exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And last time, coming up to warrior one. And then release. Come back into center. Beautiful, perfect. We're going to work our way to a warrior two flow. So we'll start again with the right leg out over the side, toes going that way. And this time we're extending the left leg out as comfortable as we are. Foot is still parallel with the short edge of the mat, just as if we were standing. Extend the arms, right fingertips forward, left fingertips behind. If you want to flip the palms up, bring the shoulder blades together on the spine. Palms back down. If you want more sensation, lift up off the chair. Whatever feels best to you. Let the left hand drop down to the thigh, flip the right palm, scoop the air into peaceful warrior. And then we're just going to make a little flow with this. Warrior two. And then peaceful warrior. Warrior two. And peaceful warrior. And last time, warrior two. And peaceful warrior. We're going to cartwheel the arms. We're going to walk our feet out the other direction. Left leg is now going out over the side of the chair. Right leg is this extended as you're comfortable. Let the arms float up. Gaze coming out over the left fingertips. Shoulders pulling away from the ears. And drop the right hand, flip the left palm, peaceful warrior. Warrior two. So let's flow just a little bit with that one. 3 more times. Peaceful warrior. Warrior two. Peaceful. Warrior, last time. Peaceful. And warrior two. Beautiful. All right. Now we're gonna use the chair. We're gonna stand up and use the chair more of our prop. So I'm gonna turn it this way. You can walk around behind it so that you're facing the chair. If you've got a blanket or a towel in the seat, just kind of move it a little bit so that my hands don't slide. And we're gonna do a sun salutation flow with this. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, forward fold into the chair. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back to down dog. So we're just taking a big step back with both feet, lifting our tailbone up into the air. Hands are on the chair, the seat of the chair. Pressing back, you'll start to feel some sensation in the back of the legs. Now step forward with the left foot. Right heel lifts off the floor. Left knee's stacked over the ankle. Bring the arms up into lunge. Hands back down to the chair. Step back to down dog. Step forward with the right foot. Left heel lifts. Arms float up if it's in your practice today. If it's not, you can keep them on the chair. Come back. Find your down dog once again. Now we're going to shift forward to plank. So our shoulders are coming out over the wrists. And then we're going to lower down and lift the heart. Find your up dog. Sink back to down dog. Take a big step forward. Find forward fold. Lift halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, breathe the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we'll do that 2 more times. By the 3rd time, you'll have it down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands on the chair. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Step back to down dog. Step the left foot forward, right heel lifts. Find your crescent lunge. Hands back down to the chair. Step back to down dog. Step the right foot in. Let the arms float up overhead. Hands back down to the chair. Step back to down dog. Inhale, coming into plank. Lowering down, lift the heart, up dog. Back to down dog. Stepping forward, find your forward fold. Lift halfway. Exhale, release. Sweep the arms up, soften the knees. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time through. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway on the inhale. Exhale, release. Step back to down dog. Really feel the sensation. Let the ears come down between the biceps. Feel free to take a wider stance on the mat. Step the left foot forward, right heel lifts. Crescent lunge. Hands back down to the mat, step back to down dog. Step the right foot forward. Find your balance. Hands back down. Step back to down dog. On the next inhale, shift forward to plank. And then scoop into up dog, back to down dog. Step forward for your last forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Soften the knees, sweep the arms up. Reach for the sky. Hands back to heart center. Let's come back to our chair. That definitely gets the blood flowing, right? Can you tell I'm like super nervous for my first Lola Gets Live? So thank you for being patient with me. I know what I want to do. Sorry, come back up, standing next to the chair. So we're gonna do some standing poses here. So we're standing beside the chair. Left toes are going towards the chair. Right foot is, I'm gonna move my chair so you can see. Right foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. Left hand comes to the chair. Reach the right arm up, finding your triangle pose. So this is a great alternative. Some people can bring the hands down lower. Maybe you cannot use the chair at all. This is a great support. So I'm going to start to bend the left knee, get a little bit of an athletic stance. Keep the left hand, maybe move it more to the center of the chair. Shift the weight into the left and find my half moon pose this way. So maybe today the foot only comes to here. That's perfectly fine. Maybe it's here. Maybe you're able to open up to full half moon. Perfect. Come on out. We'll switch sides. Find our triangle pose on this side. Again, if you want to use a block with a floor, that's perfectly fine. Hand comes to the chair. Left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Arm reaches up. Your gaze can go towards the left hand. Find your triangle. And then start to transition. Press the weight into the right foot. Let the left foot rise. Find Ardha Chandrasana. Beautiful. One more breath. And release. So if the balance isn't there, you can always move your chair up against the wall and let the wall also be a support with the chair. Come back to seated, get a breath, get a drink of water if you need to. I do. All right, so we're gonna move now into pigeon pose. So there's a couple different versions here. If it's in your practice that you can bring the ankle all the way to the thigh, we can do that. But that's not always available. So sometimes I build little stacks with the blocks. And people can put their foot there. That might be more accessible to you today. You decide what fits best in your body. We're just going to gently press the knee towards the floor. Take a nice long spine. Take a big inhale. And then hinge at the hips as deep as you can. You'll know where to stop. You'll find your edge. And take some deep breaths. This is a great pose to be doing right now, especially if you're working from home or seated a lot more than usual. Take another breath. And then inhale, come back up. Let that foot come down to the floor. We'll find our pigeon pose on the other side. And don't be surprised if one side is different than the other. So maybe the ankle could come to the knee on that side, but maybe this side isn't. You can always put your foot back down on the block, or sometimes we'll have another chair nearby. It can rest on the chair. So nice long spine. Inhale. And exhale, hinge at the hips, coming forward. You'll know where to stop. Your edge will tell you. And just breathe into the sensation that you're feeling. And taking a few more deep breaths. And let the next inhale bring you back up to seated. Bring the foot down to the floor. I'm going to move the blocks out of the way here for just a moment. So we're going to extend the legs nice and long. You might even need to scoot back a little bit. It's perfectly fine to hold on to the back of the chair. So extend the feet nice and long out in front of you. Pull the toes back. And we're going to windshield wiper, just moving from the ankles. But you're going to notice the sensation is showing up maybe more at the hips or the inner thigh. And just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. One more breath. All right, let's keep the feet nice and long. If you feel safe, maybe you can scoot up a little bit further. And we're going to start to fold down over the legs. Maybe you use a strap. Maybe you can reach down and touch the toes. We're just trying to fold over. Let the belly touch the thighs. That's perfectly fine. And stay here for 3 more breaths. Feeling the sensation of the breath moving into the back ribs. And then slowly walk your hands up and returning back up to seated. Bring the feet underneath you. So one of my favorite poses to teach in the chair is Vagasana, crow pose. Crow pose is not something that is accessible to me on the floor. I just don't have the arm strength yet, and I have a lot of fear that I'm gonna fall on my face. So doing crow pose on the chair is really so much fun. You have the support. We're just taking gravity out of the equation. You do have to work some strength on your arms, but you don't need all the strength to support yourself. So this is where I use blocks. And I'm gonna do it facing you one time, and then I'm gonna do it sideways so you can see what's happening with the feet. So we go back to feet nice and wide. And you know, with crow pose, we put our hands down on the floor and our knees are resting on the biceps with the toes pointing out behind us. Long spine. So we're just recreating the shape of the pose, but using the chair, taking out the gravity. So I'm going to start with my blocks, medium setting. Hands are coming to the blocks. And I might even just scoot back where it's even more my belly is on the chair. And I'm going to bring the feet back behind me. Let them go up. The arms are bent. And I'll turn sideways so you can see that. It's a lot of fun. Helping to get you ready to fly for the full crow pose without the chair. So I have very short arms, short legs. They don't always come to each other. But we're just recreating, and we're definitely using the arm strength here in Vagasana. One more breath. And then bring the feet down. And walk yourself back up. I'll turn my chair back around. Yeah. All right, let's just take a few deep breaths here. Ground the feet into the floor, lengthen the spine. Inhale, arms up. Take your gaze to your hands. And on the exhale, bring the chin down to the chest, hands down to the side. 3 more just like that. And last one. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering, hands down to the lap. And just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Bring the head back in through center and drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And bring the chin down to the chest. Maybe you draw big circles, big smiley faces on the chest. Going ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. And then coming back into center. And this is where we end our practice together. But I fully invite you to take this extra time now to just find your Shavasana. You can either sit back on your chair, you can lay on the floor, put your feet on the chair, and enjoy just a few moments of peace and quiet. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for being my first live audience here with Lola Gets. I'm excited. I am wearing my Lola Gets pants and my Lola Gets bra. I love their product. I'm a commercial in itself. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody has an awesome rest of the day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hope to see you again.